Welcome to Card Cousins. This is a review of the Card Vault in Boston, Massachusetts. It's at the TD Garden, and of course, this is the Tom Brady-fueled card store. That's their logo right there as you're seeing it, and that's the entrance there by North Station, the new, kind of newer. I think it looked like that the last year I lived in Boston, but it's still kind of newer entrance. There's a shot of it that I got from online right before you go into where the garden is by the Boston Garden Society. The Card Vault is right there. It's a little shop on the side. Here's a little short video I took of some people walking out just because I had the sign there with Tom Brady's face. Because Tom Brady's face is a big part of this store. Here's my quick look around. You'll see this video a couple times during this video. It is a pretty cool store. It's small, but it's very upscale. It's not your typical card store where you go in and there's dollar boxes to go through. I went on a Saturday afternoon. It was very busy in there, as you can see, but you're seeing the whole store in that one pan around. That's as big as it is for the general public, and it's just tight. And there's a lot of really upscale stuff to look at. A lot of stuff in glass cases. It is kind of a card vault in that way. Like there's a lot of high end stuff that you might not see at your local card shop. So in that way, it's kind of hitting the mark. There's some of the Card Vault hats as they're trying to capitalize on merch, as this is one of the top growing companies in the country, I believe, right now. I read somewhere. So it's really taking off. He has several stores in some big cities like Chicago. I know there's one by Patriot Place in Foxborough. They're starting to pop up everywhere. I know there's one on Long Island. It's kind of more of an upscale joint. You can see right here is a shot of their studio where they have famous people come in and open up packs, and they do a lot of pack openings. I think most big-time stores now are including a room like this where they can do breaks for their online sales, whatnot, things of that nature. And that's just the upscale part of the business that, a lot of common collectors just never really get into, or maybe you watch it, but we're not buying those big time cards like that. This little area here is from the video I shot earlier, right on the left side, and on that table in the middle there was 2 boxes of cards to be able to go through, and that was pretty much all that was out to get your hands on and thumb through. And it just wasn't the cards that are in there. There was a lot of these. I apologize for these pictures. These are pictures I found online, and they're a little skewed, but they're encased as if they have been graded, but it just says Hometown Heroes on it. And as you can see, it's kind of some basic cards of Celtics there, and then there's some Bruins as well. They also had, I think, Red Sox like this as well. And it just says Hometown Heroes on it. It has the Card Vault logo, but there's no grade on it or anything. It's just kind of encased in there. And it feels like this is really a way to try to rip people off who are coming to the Garden who maybe just want to try to get a card of a player they like. And I think it's a little underhanded. I don't care for it, honestly, but maybe some. I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes. I'm not a Boston fan. If you're familiar with me, you'll know I'm quite the opposite. I dislike all these teams greatly. But, yeah, I don't think I'd want a Hometown Heroes card of my favorite teams with the Card Vault logo just to be encased for no reason. It doesn't do anything for me. So I don't really know why they did that move. Overall, I think from what I have seen, it's hard for me to judge because I haven't been to the other Card Vaults. The other Card Vaults seem like they're much bigger, better stores where there's probably more stuff you can go through, and there's a little more room to move around. And I think my experience was hurt by the fact that it was a very busy day, Saturday afternoon. The weather was perfect in Boston, so I was walking around. And, of course, I was going to pop my head into the store and check it out. The mural that is behind the main counter is pretty cool. It's mostly Boston team themed, so obviously it's one of the most disgusting walls I've ever seen. But as a sports fan, I try to take that out of it and just appreciate it for what it is. So if you're a Boston sports fan, I feel like this is a must-see. If you're a big card collector, it's pretty cool just to drop in to see some high-end cards in the vault. And just all kind. It's not your typical card shop. So go there with measured expectations on what you're going to see inside. I think from what I've heard, and I'd like to see some of the other ones, the other card vaults are probably in a little better shape to be a more mainstream card store. This one seems like it's supposed to be a special jewel, and it's attached to the TD Garden. So for a Boston sports fan, this is going to be what they want. So it's hitting that market, and obviously Tom has gotten quite involved in the hobby, which, you know, is a trend that I don't really love, that like players are collecting their own cards now, and it's like, you know, they have a ton of money, so it's going to make it harder for the average fan to get some cards that they want, because now even players are buying up the good stuff. So I don't know. That's just sort of my opinion on the card vault. I think this is not a shop I would want to go to again. Like I said, if you're a Boston sports fan, I think it's worth a pop in just to check it out. And even as a sports cards fan, I think it's worth popping in just to see it. But I wouldn't want to make this my favorite card shop that I went to all the time, unless I was buying high-end stuff, or I was, you know, famous enough to be in the studio opening and ripping with them, which I'm not. So this just sort of seems like a shop that's not really built for someone on my card collecting level. But let me know in the comments if you've been to the Card Vault in Boston, what you think of it. And if you've been to some of the other ones, you know, stand up and say what's what. I know the one in Chicago looks really good, and I think the one in Long Island also looked pretty nice as well. So I say it's worth checking out, but it's not somewhere I need to go again. Card Vault in Boston by Tom Brady. Sorry, Tom. You won a lot of Super Bowls, but you didn't win over this guy on this trip.